17, I ran away from home and from everything I had ever known. I was sick and tired, living in a town filled with narrow minds and hate. They used to laugh at me, their children called me names. I would run and hide, feeling so ashamed just for being born. I was just a boy, punished for a crime that was not mine. Life ain't so easy when you're a kid.
Hello, 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 and thank you so much for tuning in to A Spoonful of Comfort. I am Claudrine Jackson. I am your host for A Spoonful of Comfort. I greatly appreciate the privilege of your time. I greatly appreciate the honor of being able to speak to you every Tuesday right here on WHPR TV 33. Thank you for the privilege of your time. And may you have sunshine to greet you, adventures to meet you, and joy in whatever you do. May you have God's presence to guide you and good friends beside you and blessings your whole life through. So sometimes we're being blessed and we don't even realize how blessed we are. So we can give comfort whether we feel blessed or not. We can still give comfort. I've talked to you about my son who has a handicap. He was with me this past week, and even he wants to give comfort. I needed comfort. This is the week that I had more car drama. I had car drama 2 months ago in June when I was in an accident and my car got totaled. Then I got a new car and it was stolen. So I needed comfort myself. And there are certain scriptures that you rely on that help uplift and guide you, such as He giveth power to the weak, and to them that have no might, He increases strength. And come to me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. I had to go to the scriptures that uplift and guide me to give comfort for myself. Because you can always get comfort from the scriptures and the gospel songs at any time of day or night. I want to say thank you to the people who are tuning in and who are watching the show. Thank you to the Network for Good. The Network for Good, people can donate to the Network for Good by way of Facebook. And I got another check from the Network for Good. So those of you who donate to the Network for Good anonymously, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your support. Donations like that help fuel me and help me keep going, because there's always something to kind of pull you down. So knowing that there are people who care helps keep me going. I want to say thank you to the Locker Room Lounge on Livernois, south of 7 Mile Road. The Locker Room Lounge has been raising money for autism for over 30 years. Purvis Jr. is 44 now. The Locker Room has been raising money since Purvis Jr. was in his early teens. So I know they've been raising money for over 30 years. They've been raising money since before the Purvis Foundation was founded. So I want to thank the people at the Locker Room Lounge. They had their car wash this past Sunday. They raised money for the Purvis Foundation, and they've been having a car wash for over 30 years. And they work hard out there in the hot sun, washing cars, and I greatly appreciate it. It's other people trying to help folks with handicaps that help keep me inspired. And if you want a Sunday evening out sometime, go over to the Locker Room Lounge. I say it's on Livernois, south of 7 Mile. David Brandon, who is the drummer for the Spinners. David Brandon is there every Sunday evening after 9 o'clock with his own group. And they do a great job of entertaining you. I don't get over there that many Sundays, but there was a time I'd have been there just about every Sunday. But if you want a pleasant Sunday evening out, don't forget about the Locker Room Lounge. And don't forget how much they have done for people with handicaps. Because of my son, I have done a lot of things that I never thought I would do. I was appointed by both Governors Blanchard and Engler. And some of you younger people, you'll have to look back through Michigan history and see when they were governor. But back in the 80s, Governor Jim Blanchard appointed me to his advisory committee. Now, each governor of each state has advisory committees that give them advice about what's going on in the state and what they should do about it. So it was the Michigan State Planning Council for Developmental Disabilities. We called it the DD Council. I was honored to have been appointed by Governor Blanchard as a member of the DD Council. Governor Blanchard served 2 terms, and then I was also reappointed by Governor Engler, who served 2 terms. So we were part of their advisory committee. Now, we did not meet with the governor. We met with each other as a body, and then we made recommendations to the governor. And one of the things that we said as members of the DD Council is we're all of us, only one accident or one illness away from a disability. So those of us who have the ability to help those with a disability are blessed to be able to do so. I said we didn't meet with the governors, but Governor Blanchard used to have Sunday brunches. Every Sunday, he would have members of his advisory councils. I was a member of one. There were over 120-something advisory councils that met and made recommendations to the governor. And I felt great to be a part of that. I felt great that the governor cared enough about what was going on in the state to have people to advise him. And one of the things that we never would have thought of is the people in wheelchairs met with the advisory committee for one of our meetings. The law had passed that you had to have wheelchair ramps. And thank goodness, because when I was a little girl in the 40s, people that were in wheelchairs were confined to the house. They could not get out and do anything. So we had the wheelchair ramps law. But then the people in wheelchairs came to us to meet to specify that the ramps shouldn't be above a certain incline because it was dangerous for them in their wheelchairs if the slant of the ramp was too high. Now, we wouldn't have thought of that. You'd have to be in a wheelchair yourself to realize that. So I'm thankful that we have committees to work on whatever is going wrong in the state and whatever is going on to inform the governor and advise the governor about what needs to be done about it. But I say Governor Blanchard used to have his Sunday brunches. So we'd go up to the governor's home on Mackinac Island, to his summer home on Mackinac Island, and it's right at the Straits of Mackinac where Lake Michigan and Lake Huron come together, and it's beautiful up there. And Michigan is a beautiful state. So, we have 4 of the 5 Great Lakes around Michigan. So going up there to the governor's summer home was a special treat. And I greatly appreciate what the governors did. I don't know how many advisory committees they have now. When I left the DD council, it's because I was working. I was teaching, and I couldn't, and I still had my son, so there was a lot that I had to let go. But one of the things about dealing with a person with a handicap and other people with handicaps is letting us know how blessed we are if we don't have a handicap or a disability. And like I say, we're only one accident or one illness away from a disability. So I want to read to you a couple of poems from my book that were inspired by my son. My book is called Inspired by Autism. You can get it on Amazon. You can also get it right here at WHPR in the gift shop. And being inspired by autism, it took me 30 years before I could say inspired by autism. It was always depressed by autism, upset by autism, overwhelmed by autism. He was 30 before I could say I'm inspired by autism and could write the book. And the reason I'm inspired is because I have the ability that he doesn't have. He can't talk. He can't read. He can't write. He can't even live independently. And when you're around someone like that, it lets you know how blessed you really are. And I remember one day I was talking to God about my son, constantly talking to God about Purvis Jr. And my thought was, Lord, why did you make people like this? And the answer I got was to make better people of people like you. You know, if I think I'm such a great person and I've got this person that needs me right under my nose, and I don't do what I can to help him, then am I that great of a person? So I want to share with you, this is a poem from my book. This is one I did not write. It was given to me by my son's teacher, and it was a great uplift and encouragement to me at a time when I didn't even know if I was going to write a book. But it's called Heaven's Very Special Child. And this is dedicated to all the parents of kids with handicaps, to all the kids with handicaps. Heaven's Very Special Child. A meeting was held quite far from earth. It's time again for another birth, said the angels to the Lord above. This special child will need much love. His progress may seem very slow, accomplishments he will not show. And he'll require some extra care from the folks he meets down there. He may not run, laugh, or play. Accomplishments will seem far away. His thoughts may seem quite far away. In many ways, he won't adapt, and some may say he's handicapped. So let's be careful where he's sent. We want his life to be content. So please, Lord, find the parents who will do a special job for you. They may not realize right away the leading role they're asked to play in caring from this gift from above. With this gift from above comes stronger faith and richer love. And soon they'll know the privilege given of caring for this gift from heaven. Their special charge, so meek and mild, is heaven's very special child. Heaven's very special child. It took me a long time to think of my son in those terms. I'm going to take a short break. Please stick with me for a spoonful of comfort, and I'll be right back and share another poem with you.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this
This is Claudrine Jackson. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
Thank you so much for sticking with me for a spoonful of comfort. And thank you so much for not causing discomfort to others. If you can't give them comfort, don't give discomfort. So I read the Heaven's Very Special Child to you that I did not write. Now, this one is one that I did write. It's called Special, Special Kid. You are my little special child, my funny Valentine, an accident of providence, or are you by design? It matters not the answer, because you are here with me. And that you're not like the other kids is mighty plain to see. But you are a worthy person. You are a worthy person who has come a long, long way. Helping you has helped me grow to where I am today. There's something I must tell you, though the words are nothing new. They've been sung so many times, I say them now to you. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak? When you open it to speak, are you smart? Though other folks may think you're odd, you're my favorite work of art. My funny little Valentine, you've slipped into my heart. So those of you who are my age will recognize that the words that I use are the words from this song, My Funny Valentine. It was written by Rodgers and Hart, that was sung many years ago. And I used to sing that song to PJ, and he used to love to hear it. I mean, I don't have the best singing voice, but everybody's got a song in their heart. This last poem that I want to share with you was inspired by my son. This son that I thought I was not going to be able to survive has made a better person of me than I probably would have been without him. This is A Love So Pure. He used to fight me all the time. But then as he grew up and his behavior got better and he learned more self-control, he quit fighting and pushing, and he still pushes sometimes, but he would hold my shoulders and grab my face and look at me with such a beautiful smile that I thought, here this person that has caused me so much anxiety is showing me the purest love, and that's why this is a love so pure. A love so pure that I am sure is coming straight from God. This kind of love comes down from above and right into my heart. Your smiling eyes were a big surprise that I never thought I'd see. So who knew that one day you would be smiling down at me? How could I guess that I'd be blessed for taking care of you? You've taught me a lot of things about how love can be true. I never thought the day would come when you'd be teaching me. But now I'm sure that when love is pure, it's unconditionally. My son taught me about unconditional love. This person that I was trying so hard to teach was also teaching me. He taught me about unconditional love. He loves me whether I've had a shower, whether I'm well-dressed, whether I have any money. He has a pure, unconditional love, as do other people with his condition. So I have learned that although they may be considered deficient in a lot of ways, there are still things we can learn from children with handicaps. We can learn about pureness of love, unconditional love. He also taught me about living in the moment, which is difficult for me. He's not worried about yesterday. He's not worried about tomorrow. He's not worried about bills. He's not worried about love life. He's not worried about wardrobe. So I've learned from him sometimes to just live in the moment. You know, they say that yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is our gift, and that's why it's called the present. My son taught me about the gift of the present. So because he came into my life and I thought he was going to ruin my life, what happened is I became a better person because of him. So hence the Purvis Foundation and trying to help other people with situations such as my son. And the scriptures that the Purvis Jackson Autism Foundation is based on is Matthew 25:40 is one of the scriptures. That which ye do for the least of my brethren, you do it also unto me. Children with handicaps are the least of our brethren. And those of us who are more fortunate, doesn't God want us to take care of the less fortunate? Galatians 6:9. Be ye not weary in well-doing, for in due season ye will reap if ye faint not. Proverbs 3:27. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. When it is in the power of thine hand to do it. It is in the power of my hand to help children with handicaps. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due. Proverbs 11:25. Whoever brings blessings will be enriched, and one who waters will be watered. I learned all of this because of my son. I don't know if I would have developed into the person that I became without him. And he can't decide what kind of person he wants to be, but we can. So what about you? What kind of person do you want to be in the world? Have you decided what kind of person you want to be in the world? How do you want to be in the world? Are you the kind of person that if everybody was like you, it would be a better world? Or are you the kind of person that people say, oh, Lord, here they come? You know, we all can make a decision about how we want to be. And because of this child in my life, I made a decision. I don't know if I would have made the decision without him, but I do know that because of him, my life took a turn that I had not expected. But it did not ruin me. I thought it was going to ruin me. So even though I've told you about having reached the ripe old age of 80, I'm thankful and I'm blessed to have reached this age. But I still feel that I have a future. Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans for hope for the future. So even though I'm 80 years old, I still have hope for the future. I have a book of poems that I'm working on now that will be out before the end of the year. I think we're supposed to live life as long as we are able to. And I am so thankful that I am able to. Romans 8:24 and 25 says, for we are saved by hope. But what a man or woman seeth, you don't have to hope for. But if we hope for that we seeth not, then we do with patience wait for it. And I can't say that I always waited with patience. I can't always say that I had strong faith. But here from the vantage point of old age, I can say that I've seen a lot of the scriptures that I had that I read but did not necessarily have faith in. I've seen them come to pass. If we pray and read our scriptures and believe then God will fulfill the words of the scriptures in our life. And I am here to tell you about that. I was so depressed. I spent many years being depressed, and I guess that's why I want to let people know that even though you're going through a depression now, you're going through it to get to it. You're going through something, but when you come through it, you'll be a better person. I didn't know the blessings that God had in store for me back in the late 70s and early 80s when I felt so downhearted and depressed and didn't know what I was going to do about this child who needed so much. And I kept praying for God, please bless him, please cure him. Well, God didn't cure him, but he cured me. And I learned that I had to be his blessing. So I had to be a blessing for my son. And we can be a blessing to others. God, in fact, God blesses us so that we can bless others. And I talk about karma. What you send out into the universe is what you get back from the universe. What goes around comes around. What you do unto others is what is done unto you. So remember, you can decide how you want to treat people. You can change your mind at any moment and do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Thank you so much for tuning in to A Spoonful of Comfort. Tune in next Tuesday at 1:30, and God bless you and have a great week.
When I was 17, I ran away from home and from everything I had ever known.
I was sick and tired, living in a town filled with narrow minds and hate.
They used to laugh at me, their children called me names. I would run and hide, feeling so ashamed
Just for being born, I was just a boy, punished for a crime that was